Good evening, I'm Jeff Slawson. Buffalo police are investigating an officer-involved shooting tonight. Authorities say the incident took place downtown with a man taking a swing at officers with a baseball bat. That man was then shot at the corner of Genesee and Ash. Police gave us an update on what happened this afternoon. The Buffalo Police Benevolent Association said they believed the officers followed correct protocol in discharging their weapons while hoping for better organization on calls like this. They said the PBA is advocating a collaborative process to enhance training and refine protocols to properly address this public health and safety issue. Now to a developing story from Niagara County. Police are investigating a deadly crash between an unregistered dirt bike and car in Niagara Falls. Officers tell us that a 23-year-old man was trying to pass a car on his dirt bike along Porter Road just before 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon. He then veered away from an oncoming SUV, left the roadway, and crashed. The 23-year-old was thrown from the bike and died at the scene. Police have not released his name. Police say the driver of the SUV is cooperating in their investigation and that no charges have been filed. Police are investigating what appears to be a serious crash in Cattaraugus. Police responded to the scene of the intersection on Harlem Road and Clinton Street shortly after noon. Officers closed the busy street to traffic while they collected evidence and cleared up the wreckage. At least 5 vehicles were involved. We received this update just seconds ago from Cattaraugus police. They tell us that a 37-year-old male was operating a Harley-Davidson motorcycle. He struck a 23-year-old male in a 2008 Chevrolet Impala. The motorcyclist was transported by AMR ambulance to ECMC, where he was pronounced dead. The driver of the car had no injuries. We now know the name of the person who died in a crash up in Niagara County earlier in the week. The Niagara County Sheriff's Office says David Pettigrew hit a tree off Lockport Road in Wheatfield Thursday afternoon. The victim died at the scene. The investigation into what happened continues. We are trying to learn more about a serious fall in Cattaraugus County. Officials from Mercy Flight say they responded to a home on Johnson Street near North Main in Franklinville this afternoon. We don't know what kind of fall it was or how serious the victim's injuries are. The COVID-19 pandemic is nearly 6 months old, and that's a long time not being able to see a loved one, especially if they happen to be living in a nursing home. That's the driving force behind a number of rallies held nationwide today, including this one that was outside of City Hall in Batavia. 7 Eyewitness News reporter Alla Araby, she has more on this push for visitation rights. Ella, thank you. Now to a record high number of COVID-19 tests here in New York State. Governor Cuomo says the health department received nearly 103,000 test results on Friday. Western New York's positive COVID-19 test rate, that continues to run far above the rest of the state. 1.5% of tests came back positive yesterday. The statewide average was less than 1%, and that's for the 36th consecutive day. The State University at Brockport has suspended its wrestling program and is launching a full investigation into potential COVID-19 violations by members of the team. That's according to a statement from SUNY Chancellor Dr. Jim Malatras. As of today, only one fully remote student has tested positive for COVID-19. We have our eyes on education tonight with growing opposition to proposed school budget cuts. Educators, parents, community leaders, and students gathered outside the state office building in downtown Buffalo today. They're opposed to the governor's proposal to withhold 20% of state school aid. They say the COVID-19 crisis is hard enough to deal with right now. Demonstrators say a 20% cut in state aid would translate to a loss of $163 million for Buffalo Public Schools. Similar protests were held all across the state. To Chautauqua County now, where the village of Fredonia has declared a local state of emergency because of a water system failure. The Chautauqua County Health Department ordered a boil water advisory after it said the water had a high turbidity or cloudiness. It's a story we told you about yesterday. Fredonia Village Mayor Douglas Essick says the water treatment plant's filtration system was scheduled to get new filter beds last spring, but that project was delayed because of COVID-19. Village officials are handing out bottled water at no charge. For more information, you can head over to our website right now at WKBW.com. And from Skywatch 7, we're giving you a live look from downtown Buffalo. We're cooling off right now. It was an absolutely gorgeous day today here in Western New York. I went for a run in Delaware Park, and I can just tell you it was beautiful. But can we repeat that tomorrow for the first Bills game? Meteorologist Andy Parker, he's tracking your 7 first alert forecast from home. Andy?
Yeah.
Sounds great, Andy. Thank you. Now to Democracy 2020. The 2 presidential campaigns are taking different approaches in getting their messages out to voters. President Trump with his in-person gatherings, while the Biden campaign is taking a virtual approach. Here's ABC's Ty Hernandez. Ty, thank you. You can celebrate the start of the Bills' regular season with a little bit of breakfast featuring the quarterback Josh Allen and his new cereal, Josh's Jacks. Go on sale tomorrow at all Wegmans stores. I saw some on sale actually today at the Amherst Street store. A portion of the proceeds will benefit Buffalo's Oshai Children's Hospital. The cereal is described as red and blue frosted rolls. They follow in the footsteps of Fruity Flakes and Tea Oats, if you remember those. You can also buy the cereal online. We have a link on our website right now, WKBW.com. Just go ahead and click on that story for more. New York State's oldest pumpkin farm is now open for business in Cattaraugus County. Pumpkinville in the Great Valley has been a part of the fall tradition here in Western New York for more than 50 years now, and the farm is open with some changes due to the pandemic. It will only operate at 33% capacity, and all visitors must wear a mask despite having to socially distance. Pumpkinville is bringing back many of its popular attractions. That's going to include hay rides, the carousel, and sweet, sweet treats like those amazing donuts. Some farm animals will also be on display, but you won't be able to actually touch them this year. Pumpkinville is open from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day until Halloween. It's recommended that you buy your tickets online. Up next, getting back on track. Some good news when it comes to one of the more promising COVID-19 vaccine trials. Plus, the Bills are back for the start of a not-so-regular season in this age of COVID-19. We have a preview coming up in sports. You're watching 7 Eyewitness News at 11. Welcome back. I'm Jeff Slawson in for Jeff Rusak. The University of Oxford has announced it will resume its COVID-19 vaccine trials, but only in the United Kingdom. The human trial was halted last Sunday after an unexplained illness in one of its volunteers. The independent review process into the incident has concluded, allowing the trials to begin again in the UK. The university is working on the vaccine with pharmaceutical giant AstraZeneca. ABC's Elwin Lopez has more on the race to find safe and effective treatment for the coronavirus. Members of the Buffalo Police Explorers are showing off their creative side. Today, they painted a mural on the stairs and ramp leading to the None Like You Outreach Center on Southampton Street right here in the Queen City. Volunteers also spruced things up in and around the building. The Buffalo Police Explorers help establish and foster relationships between Buffalo police officers and young people in the city of Buffalo. The annual Walk to End Alzheimer's took place today, but with a different look this year because of COVID-19. Instead of hosting a large gathering, the Alzheimer's Association encouraged people to walk in small groups or as individuals along sidewalks, parks, and trails across Western New York. That includes this one on Transit Drive in Amherst, where a promise garden was set up to honor all those impacted by Alzheimer's and dementia. This rare orange lobster will soon have a new home at the Aquarium of Niagara. It was spared its life from somebody's dinner plate after it was discovered at the top store on Transit Road in Lockport. Employers appropriately named it Larry the Lobster, and the lobster was shipped from Boston after being caught off the coast of Maine. Larry will join a rare blue lobster at the aquarium. That one was saved from the Wegmans store on Military Road in Niagara Falls back in 2011. Perfect time to have that lobster. Maybe enjoy some of the weather today, but looking like the next couple of days, Andy, or at least tomorrow, going to be a tough one. Parker trying to jinx the rookie kicker already. Up next, final preparations for the Bills' regular season opener tomorrow in Orchard Park. Jenna Clary is on the desk with sports. You're watching 7 Eyewitness News at 11.